Hello, my YouTube family. Nice to see you and welcome if you're new. Commitment. What does it mean to really commit in a relationship? What is that? Why are so many people afraid of commitment? And what does it mean once you commit? How is that transforming you as a human being? How does that transform your relationship as you deeply commit? My name is Lianna Walden. I am a sexual energy healer and I help people expand in their intimate and sexual lives. I want to talk about commitment being this energy that you get into with another person. That means you're going to be there no matter what comes up. That you're going to show up, that you're going to support, that you're going to enter into this realm with this other person no matter what shows up. Now this is scary because relationships bring up all sorts of deep sort of shadowy things, bring up things that maybe you didn't know existed, bring up those maybe those traumas, those you've had from the past, or these old beliefs that you have, or certainly bring in the stuff that comes from families, and maybe even generational stuff comes in. Not maybe, it does. Generational stuff comes up because you can't hide when you're in a commitment. I mean, you can hide for a while, but at some point you're gonna need to expose yourself. Otherwise you're gonna get sick, or you're gonna get diseased in some way, by hiding and disappearing into holding on and onto things that you just can't tell your committed partner. A commitment with another person is going into a space with someone where you feel safe and secure to admit and reveal everything, right? Everything that comes up. It's not a place to go into hiding. Otherwise, why commit? Committing to hiding oneself, committing to not revealing who you really are, and committing to not allowing your desires to change and shift and move, and so therefore hiding and holding in everything that you have, every feeling that you have. That's not commitment. That's like torture. That's living in torture. That's hiding in a box somewhere and putting bars around you and saying, okay, maybe that's your old way of commitment, a traditional way of commitment. We didn't know how to expose ourselves, how to reveal stuff. We didn't think it was even allowed. There's certain elements of, if you're masculine, you're this, if you're feminine, if you're a man, you're this, if you're a woman, you're this, and that's it. You stay there. You don't get to open up beyond that. But the all relationship has changed, right? It's all changed, and we're much more open and conversational and revealing, and we talk about releasing energy, and we talk about conscious relationships. So, but we still want commitment, right? We still want some kind of commitment from somebody that we know that person's going to be there. They've got our back, right? That feels good to know that someone's got your back. And you want to know, and you have to offer this as well, that they got your back, not just in a superficial way, but in every level of your being. You show your worst side to your most intimate partner, right? The worst of you comes out. You can't hide. You can't hide all of this. And you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to hide it. And don't hide it. Let it out, right? If you're committed to be with somebody because you love the way they are and their personality and their the way they look and the way they act and what they do and all of this stuff, you have to be committed for everything. We're multidimensional beings. We're not just superficial layers of of play acting that never changes. There's many deep layers that go in, and they will change, and new desires will come up, and things will shift within your being. You'll do different things, you'll feel different things. So if you're going to commit to somebody in a relationship, you are going into expanding your consciousness. You're going into the soul expansion, right? If you allow yourself to really dive in and be there fully for whatever comes up for them, you're there fully for whatever comes up for them, even if it's hurtful. Can you be there for them? Can you stand solid and help support them through it? And they for you. You know, yes, there's boundaries, okay? If they get violent, physically violent, or there's a level of emotional violence that's just beyond the beyond. Like, okay, yes, okay, I understand. You know, yes, get out. But that's also something that's part of you, right? That's also part of you. That's part of you creating. I mean, we are mere reflections of the person that we bring into our lives. That intimate connection. Don't you find like sometimes you look at your partner, your wife, your husband, and you see your face in their face? You know, you've been with them for so long, and you just see your face in their face. You go out one day and you're leaving the house, and you look at them, and they're wearing exactly the same thing as you, color-wise, you know, style possibly. You start to really become one entity as you spend more intimate time together. And so you are actually, in a sense, you are extending who you are, right? You're committing not just to this person, but to yourself. You're really committing to yourself that this energy that's coming into your life is something that that's going to bring more learning to you. That's going to show you what you need to know, show you where you need to go. It's going to reveal to you what work you need to do. And if you can stand in that, and you can be the support in that, in what they need, this, and you can move your way through that. You can you can dive into whatever it is, so that you go through whatever that happens to be with them, and then you heal together. You come out as a completely different being, an expanded being, a being that has consciousness, that has grown, that has a soul that is more than where you were, because you've learned, you've grown, you've experienced, and now you're transformed, right? Transformed together. You work together. You transform together. You go through this journey together. So commitment's not just about, you know, getting married and getting a house and having nice things and going on holidays and then having kids. And it's about those deep, dark energies that come up, that will come up. And you still being there fully for that person. You stick around. You support what they're going through, but you also understand that they are showing you, they are reflecting to you what you need to work on, what you need to examine in your life in order for you to grow and heal. Okay? And sometimes it's really freaking hard. It's really hard sometimes, because you think, well, that can't be me. How can that be part of me? But it's part of you in some way. Maybe not the exact replication, but there's an aspect of that that is the reflection of you, that sits in your shadows, that you need to go in and examine as well in order to transform what you are creating in your life, who you are reflecting, who you are manifesting in your life. So I talk a lot about, listening to another person's desires as well as revealing your desires. And these are some of the deep shadows that exist. And the fear that we hold on to about revealing our desires to our partner. All this, afraid that they're going to leave, afraid that they're going to that they're going to leave, that they're not going to be there for us, that they're not going to understand, that they're not going to support us through these desires that we have. But if you're in a commitment with this person and they're not supporting you, then there's an aspect that you're not supporting them. As there's an aspect of something that you're not supporting them as well. And you have to find a way that you can allow each other to go to those dark places and still be there with each other, still hold each other's hand through the darkness. Once you go through, then you come to the lightness. Let's say you heal together, and that energy you transform into something else, into something healthier, into something more something completely different, that I can't tell you. I can't, anecdotally, as I've made my way through my relationship, my newer relationship, well, it's been 5 years now, there's been those moments of just deep, him going deep in these places, pulling stuff still, that remnants that exist from the past that he needs to work on. And I examine this, and I'm there, and I realize, like, I have some of this stuff too, and we're going to hold hands and go through this together. I want him to be there for me, and I'm going to be there for him. And it can be bloody hard at times. It can be really hard. It can be, you can feel like, what am I doing here? Why am I living this life with this person? But you've chosen each other. You've chosen to be with this person because they are they are the biggest and most obvious reflection of what you need to work on. So, commitment. Can you and are you committed to your partner? And are they committed to you in the relationship that you are in? Let me know how it's going for you, and if you have any questions, please comment below. And I would love to hear from you. Much love making.